Pauline from Stamp with Pauline, Stampin' Stampede, and it's my Friday Live fold class. So today I'm going to show you how to do another gatefold card, and this is one that I have done previous so that you know what we're going to be creating. So the fold actually is like this on this card, but you can actually change it and make it go like that. So we'll get started. What you need to do to make this card is you need a piece of A4 cardstock. You will need 2 sheets of designer series paper. These sheets are 10 centimeters by 14¼ centimeters. Then you will also need, I'm using the Christmas, the decorative baubles dies that are from the mini catalogue at the moment. I've cut out a piece of Whisper White using the solid one, and I've also got this that I had pre-cut before. It's the Merry and Bright ornament as well. So to start off with, you will need a bone folder, and just pop these out of the way. So with this card, good morning Debbie, and what you're going to do with the cardstock is take your A4 sheet of cardstock and fold it over and just score it along here. Then you're going to open it back up again and score it, so fold and score over again this way. Alright, so now you have your A4 piece of cardstock now cut, scored into 4 sections. And what we're going to do is use our trimmer, and we're going to actually cut from this point down to this point. So you may need to take out your scoring blade out of your trimmer, and you can also do this by hand if you wanted to. You could actually draw a very faint line coming all the way through this section. And what I'm going to do is just line up my 2 score lines. You might not be able to see all of this with the camera angle. I've also got this on my YouTube channel as well, Stamp with Pauline, and you'll be able to see what I've done, a variation with the bauble in a minute, so you'll see a different way. So we're just cutting through all of this. Now if it doesn't reach the ends with your trimmer, just bring in your snips and just gently cut away the bits at the end. So just trimming that off and then cutting away this piece here. Alright, so that now gives us 2 cards. So you can see now here, this folds over and this folds down, and you get to change it. So if you wanted it in a different direction, you can. You just have to flip it around. So you've got options with this. And what I do is just line up my card to the edge and then just fold that over. So you've got your 2 ends meeting up. And if you've cut it all right, then it should be all good, but if it's not, just manipulate your cardstock a little bit. Alright, now with the designer series paper, you need to cut it on a diagonal as well. So for my card, I've got the larger section here. So what you're going to do now is just trim, putting it into the cut line of your trimmer, and then just cut along there, and then that actually goes onto there, and it just gives you a very fine border around all of the sides. And then you have your other piece going in the opposite direction, and you can mix and match too. So because we're making 2 cards, you need 2 sheets, but if I wanted to, I could actually cut this as well, and I can actually then mix and match, just pop that out of the way. I can mix and match my designer series paper. So you're going to grab your multi-purpose liquid glue, and I found that that was the easiest way to be able to manipulate it, because you want a little bit of wiggle room on it. So just grab your multi-purpose and pop that down onto there. Now you can also make your designer series paper slightly smaller as well. So you can make it 9.5 centimeters by 14 or 13 3/4, so that you actually can get a little bit more room on your border. So you've got a bit of leeway with this, and I'll show you what I mean. On this card here, I've actually done it the same way, but for this card, what I did was actually brought them in. So this is actually cut at 9.5 by 14 and 13 3/4. And so that has actually given me a bit more of my cinnamon cider actually showing out from there. So you've got a couple of ways you can actually do that. So you can have paper going the same direction, you can have different paper. Now to do the ornament, what I've got, I do prefer to use the sticky sheets, the adhesive sheets that we have. And what I would normally do, and you'll see that on the other YouTube video, is I would actually glue this cardstock to my adhesive sheet, then peel it away and then glue it back. But I already had these ready for a workshop, so I'm just going to gently sweep across some of the solid areas of this ornament, and I'm going to glue that down onto here. And then what I've done is, using the gold foil sheets, I've cut out one of the bows from the bauble set. So you'll see the decorative baubles, and the dies come like this. And what you actually get is to cut out the inside layer, or you can cut out the outer edge layer as well. So I've gone and cut a bow, and for this I'm going to use a glue dot and stick that down onto there. And then what you do is, depending on which way you want your card to go, you can actually now go ahead and glue it down onto here. You can use dimensionals as well, but you just have to be aware of where you need to stick the adhesive, because you don't want to stick, obviously, your ornament and glue the card shut completely. So if you make that into the position in the center, and then sort of gauge an idea that from this point to this point is roughly where I need my glue to go. And I always have handy just a baby wipe, just to be on the safe side. So if I do smoosh out anywhere, I can do that. So then I just lift it up, just so that we're not going to glue our card completely shut. And then what you need to do is just cut a liner for inside of here, and that's 10 centimeters by 14 1/4, and that will be the liner of the card. To do this element, what I did was I cut the designer series paper out, and then I cut out one of the ornaments. So what I did with this, I've got a couple of them already cut. So you take the outer layer, and then what I did was actually chopped off and completed it to make a round circle. And now that will then be able to be stuck on here with an element. If I want to use the green, I could use the green. And then to add the ribbon, I used the Stampin seal and some ruffle red ribbon. So I'll show you what I did here. I was actually just trim around here. So take off the little top. Then just grab some ribbon. Don't need a lot of ribbon, but for this what I'm doing is just gauging. I want to make it this way, so I'm going to go here and then across to here and then a little bit that way. Yep, so about that. And then take Stampin' Seal and then I can lay down my ribbon across and across here, and then just trim away that excess. And now that can have its designer series paper, or I can stamp, or I could make another element and that gets stuck onto there, or I could have it going this way. So lots of different variations with this gatefold card as well. So here is all of your options to make these cards. So I'll pop these on my blog, and like I said, there'll be another one on the YouTube as well that shows this using the adhesive sheets to add these baubles to your cards. So it just makes it a little bit easier. I really quite liked making these cards. They were kind of fun. And then obviously just put your words and you decorate the inside. So hope you liked that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.